Hello, everyone. How y'all doing? See if anybody hops on. Because the last time I did like a random live, I got a few people. So I don't know if people are busy right now on a Sunday afternoon, but kind of wanted to jump on here and address some thoughts about what has happened this past week in the United States. So if you guys are not here for that, I'm not going to really care. This is just my opinion. I'm allowed to have my opinion on my own channel. So I just really want to address some things and the decision of hey Sandra, how are you? Hello, beautiful girl. I'm doing okay. How are you? One, I just wanted to address something first before I go into this hasn't been a great past couple of weeks in the country, but also um me and Sandra were also part of Debbie's online community here on YouTube, and unfortunately she had to end her journey on YouTube for right now. Um Not forever, hopefully, but for a long period of time. And I just wanted to say when I was watching her live, um, I wasn't able to stay for the whole thing. I was only able to be there for about 20 minutes when I was at work. Of course, I was working when she went live. I really wanted to be there for the whole thing though. But after I rewatched it, it made me cry because I know that the reason why she didn't want to go is because of people like me and Sandra and other people that really do love her and care about her and are truly her friends. And I know that there was a lot of stuff that went on behind the scenes that just was too much for her to handle anymore. But also, like, it was really getting to her physically and mentally. Um, so yeah. Hold on one second. I know. It was so sad. Like, so sad. Yeah. I'm just gonna hit up Mary because I think that sometimes it doesn't always pop up for her. I don't know if Debbie would be available today, but I don't wanna, like, bombard her, but, um, it sucks. Like, it felt like we were kinda just losing a piece of our group because she was the reason why I became friends with, like, people like Sandra and other people on YouTube. I would have never been friends with Mary either if I didn't know Debbie. And I really am grateful for that and for the friendships that I've developed on from YouTube because honestly, it's pretty hard to make friends on here sometimes because you don't know what their intentions are because these are people that you've never met before. And that's why it just becomes so hard to make friends in general anymore. But I really am truly glad that I made the friends that I did because of her. That's why it made it so bittersweet and sad when this happened because Debbie is like the most sweetest, beautiful soul. And honestly, for anyone to hurt her, I'm like, how can anybody hurt this woman? She's literally like just such a beautiful person and such a nice person. And really, like, the thing I'm gonna miss the most about her lives is making me laugh because literally I've never watched anyone that I've literally almost peed my pants from laughing because she makes me laugh so hard. And there were like days where we're all having a rough day and we see Debbie pop up on our randomly on our YouTube, and she pops up and we're just like, oh, something that can brighten my day. And but I just don't want her to feel like that was becoming a burden for her because she can't please everyone. She has to take care of herself first. And it was just getting to be, again, like way too much for her. So, yeah, she really does. And she knows all the people that were there on her last live for now really do genuinely care about her a lot. And they were all people that I didn't know before Debbie started her channel. And I know that she's not that big of a YouTuber, but that community part was always so special to her, and that's why she started her channel in the first place, as to make most people start their channels in the first place to make friends. And she really did have a community that cared about her a lot. So I just wanted to talk about that for a little bit. Give me one second. Okay. So I'm just going to go ahead and get ready for the day. I'm getting ready a little bit later than I thought, but that's okay. It's kind of a super hot day, so I'm not going to do anything too crazy. I'm just going to do like a regular neutral look with very light face makeup because I don't want it to be too heavy. Um so I'm just gonna prime my eyes. I'm not gonna like waste time messaging other people. If people are busy, it's fine. I know I kind of just jumped on here randomly. I didn't really say anything on my Instagram. Yeah, exactly. And that's the problem, is that you never really know, and Debbie's that kind of person where she literally cares about everyone so much that she didn't know their intentions. Um and it sucks. It That does suck. So, I'm not going to say anything else because I don't want to um that's for her. That's her story. But it just is very unfortunate that it had to be this way, and we're all sad about it. But I, again, don't want her to feel obligated to please us. Like, we're still in contact with her, and we're still talking to her, and that's all that really matters. Is just to give our support to her. And then she supports us right back. So, okay. So, anyway, I'm gonna just coat my lips with this guy. So I've been using this lip oil from Lila B because I did, yeah, exactly. Um, and that's all people really need at the end of the day, is just know that somebody is there for them. That means so much to somebody, rather than like being like, "Oh, that's so sad," like, or yeah, okay, bye, like, you just, a lot of people just need that confirmation that you're there for them. And that means so much more than anything. Oh, thank you. I'm seeing my boyfriend today. I really felt like my skin looked kinda dull today, but so that means a lot. Thank you so much. It might just be the light in my room. It's such a bright light on my desk, but that's so sweet. So, I'm probably gonna be using mostly Colourpop today. Is anybody surprised? But they're, like, my favorite everyday products. But I did want to address the Supreme Court decision on Roe versus Wade, um, on my live today, because I really wanted to talk about it for a little bit. I'm not going to talk about it for too long, but I know, life changing, right? And there goes the powder all over the place. But this powder, I've been raving about it for so long. I've been using this almost every single day since it was summer, but I've been using it since I got it, like, almost every day. I love this powder so much. Why is my eye bothering me already? Okay, so I feel like I kind of need saline already. It's okay, Sandra, I know what you meant. Okay. Sorry if that skeeves anybody out with me touching my eyes, but I do wear contacts, so okay, so for today, I'm gonna use the Colourpop Going Coconuts palette. I actually haven't used this in a while, and it's my favorite neutral palette, so we're just gonna use this guy. So I wanted to talk about the decision of the Supreme Court because everybody knew it was pretty much going to happen because of the leaked decision back in, I don't know if it was the end of April or like the beginning of May. I'm just going to dip into stuff and I'll just tell you guys what I used at the end because I really do want to talk right now. So, um, but when it happened on, I think it was Friday morning, I was just really, really upset and really depressed about it. And before I go into more detail, I'm not saying that, oh, I'm so upset that it I don't know how to really phrase this, but I'm not upset that women can't have abortions anymore. Like, but I am upset about that because the reason why is doesn't just affect women and trans women or non-binary women from having abortions. This will create such a snowball effect that it literally trickles down into affecting a lot of things than just having an abortion. Like, people automatically label Planned Parenthood and these other kind of clinics as abortion clinics, but that's not what they are. They're free Medicare. And these these Planned Parenthood centers and health clinics, honestly, abortions are the last thing that they wanna do for someone. It's not like they're like, "Oh, yeah, we're gonna give you a free abortion today." No, that's not how it is. They're not criminals. They're not trying to kill your baby. That's not what happens. It's so the reason why it's called Planned Parenthood is because they want you to help you plan to become a parent. It's not to, like, you know, give you that option right away of aborting a baby, but the baby isn't even a fetus yet in most states to give you an abortion. And most women, most mothers don't want to abort a baby. It's not like they woke up the next morning and be like, I'm going to go abort my baby today, because 99% of the time they're doing it alone. 99% of the time they were raped or it was a result of incest, or, and I hate the excuse of people saying, um, well, if you don't want to get pregnant, you should close your legs. I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, there are so many different cases of women getting raped against their will. I don't know if I can say the R word. I think it doesn't matter if I don't have a monetized channel. I'm just gonna say the R word. I'm sorry. I don't want to say that too much for anyone that comes in and has that had that happen to them before. I'll say sexually assaulted, I guess. I'm not really sure what terminology I should use, but what people say, like, "Oh, yeah, the woman was asking for it. She shouldn't have worn, like, slutty clothes. She shouldn't have done this. She shouldn't have done that." Why is the blame always put on the woman when the man should be the one that's getting all the blame? And not that the woman is punished enough by getting R-worded, but literally now having to carry a baby that they didn't want and are going to have that burden for the rest of their lives. And that's just one reason why it's so upsetting and appalling, but also certain states like Oklahoma was the first state to completely outlaw abortion, and if they tried to give an abortion, they would be arrested and criminally charged. And they also had just closed their last and only Planned Parenthood location in Oklahoma. But Planned Parenthood doesn't just give out free abortions every single day. They provide free Medicare. That means birth control, that means contraceptives, that means health visit, that means wellness, that means giving you medical coverage that you wouldn't get anywhere else by using Medicare because doctors are fucking expensive. And I personally believe that we should all just have universal health care like Canada. Because honestly, it's kind of bullshit that we don't. Like, hello. But it's not just R worded and I worded, but it's also, and also like just having a case of I worded that you can't get an abortion after being I worded by a family member is literally disgusting. And what are the criminal consequences for those I worded people or R worded people that did that to them, to the victims? And it's not only that, but also these victims have to deal with a lot of mental issues and depression. And it, like, how are they supposed to support this child if they got sexually assaulted? Like, most of them are going to end up being adopted, and that's what I'm going to get into after this. I hope that the comments are working. You're probably just listening, Sandra, so thank you. And I don't know who else is here, but thank you for watching. But it's not only that, but also these kids that, you know, the parents aren't, I mean, there's so many different situations. It's not just one situation of a woman going out, having a one night stand with someone and then getting pregnant and then deciding that they don't want the baby. There's so many things that could happen. Like the condom could break, or they got R worded or I worded, or they weren't ready to be parents because they couldn't afford it, or they there's just so many special circumstances that every situation is unique, that that's why this option was so important to women and trans women and anyone who could get pregnant in general, because it doesn't just cause problems for and completely outlaw some women from getting, I know I've been blending out my crease for like 10 million years. Yeah, yeah, and it's already sky high. And also, after all of these babies are born and the parents don't want them and give them up for adoption, first off, a lot of parents don't want to just give up their babies because, you know, it's like it's their child. But if they don't have any choice, they're going to give them up for adoption, or they're going to go in the system, which it's going to create such a increase in for kids in the system and in orphanages and don't get adopted. I think I saw on the news like a couple days ago that there are over 400,000 children that are in the system right now. And what I think, and I don't know if someone's going to call me out for this, but I really don't care because, again, it's my channel. But for all the pro-lifers screaming about pro-choicers and abortion, why don't you adopt one of those kids that someone couldn't afford to keep? Then you would see how hard it is. I mean, at least you have the financial stability to start a family because you probably have had no problems in your life. But this is going to affect the poor community. This is going to affect just everything. Like, it's not just these things that I'm talking about. So it's going to affect kids going into the system. It's also going to create overpopulation, which I've been thinking about too. I'm like, the world is already overpopulated, so to just add on to, but it's not only that, because it's also going to affect people getting contraception in their states, probably at some point, which is literally bonkers to me because sex is something that is natural and how we create children, yes. But I don't know why sex is such a topic that people are so afraid of talking about because it's a natural human uh thing. And for people to say, "Oh, you just shouldn't have sex at all," and they're only talking to the woman is so wrong. Like, if a woman wants to have sex with their partner of like 10 years, they should be able to do it. Like, it shouldn't have to be like no sex before marriage. It shouldn't have to be like women should be completely abstinent until they get married or whether or not they want to have a kid. Also, I believe it's total bullshit that people think that con conceiving uh a kid starts at conceiving them. Like literally when the parents have sex or whoever decides to have sex, that means the baby is already created. I'm like, that is such bullshit. I'm like, the baby is not completely developed until it's a fetus. I'm like, the baby's not even uh like developed in your body until it's a fetus. Not when it's first conceived when you have sex that time. That is such horseshit. Um but also so it'll create overpopulation for more kids to be in the system. And also it won't just affect that, but also contraception, meaning condoms and birth control and everything, abortion pills, all that stuff. Is the abortion pills are now completely illegal in all of these states, are going to be illegal in the states that have no abortion protection. And it's like 30 states. We're not just talking about like 5 or 6 states, we're talking about like 30 states. And most of them are red states in the middle of America. Basically only the East Coast and the West Coast, but like the East Coast, which is me, because I live in New York, it's like literally not even, it's like half of New England, but not all of New England. And then like all the states underneath, I think New York are all not protected. Like Florida, of course, and North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, all those states. And then there's also Texas and all the states in the middle. And then basically on the West Coast, it's California, Nevada, Washington, etc. But it's like really only like 10 to not even 15 states that it's going to be protected for women or anyone who can get pregnant in general. So I just want to say that I am so grateful to live in New York. I really am because I get birth control from Planned Parenthood. I go once a year to get my birth control. I've been on birth control for 10 years. 10 years. And it's not just to protect myself from getting pregnant, but also it has a lot of medical benefits for people that have very heavy periods. It actually stopped my cramps completely because taking birth control isn't actually a real period. And my boyfriend actually told me this. It actually is just a fake period. But your birth control regimen has you take it just so so I don't know really why, but hey Erica, how are you? Helps with PCOS. What does that mean? I'm sorry. Sorry. But yeah. It's just there's so much I could talk about, but it doesn't just affect people, um, who are pro-choicers, it's gonna affect people that are pro-lifers too. And once the pro-lifers, realize how much this is actually going to be affecting, they might. Oh, okay. Oh, I didn't know that. But yeah, taking birth control has a lot of benefits to it. It's not just to prevent us from having a baby. Yeah, birth control, girl, unless you can't take it. That sucks. But literally changed my periods and I don't get cramps anymore at all. Oh, okay. Oh, wow, I didn't know that, Sandra. That sucks. So what does that actually affect? I mean, obviously it affects your ovaries, but what does it do to your ovaries? Um, so I could just talk about it for forever, but it doesn't just affect women. It affects everyone. And when the pro-lifers actually see what this is going to be affecting, because it's already taking place because it happened, then they might change their minds. Because I also saw on other people's Facebooks and stuff that these people won't change their minds until it directly happens to them. Like, what if your daughter got R worded and she didn't have an option to abort this baby, but you would look at her in shame for the rest of her life because she would have to raise a child that she couldn't afford or wasn't ready for, and your state outlawed abortions for R worded and I worded women or sexually assaulted women. Do I need to say anymore? But literally, these states outlaw it for women that get R worded and I worded. It's just mind blowing to me. I'm like, if that ever happened to me, that would be no question. I mean, it would be devastating for me. And it's not like it's an easy decision for mothers to make, whether to become a mother or not. And I hate the pressure of women starting a family in this country. Not everything is about raising children. Like, if women decide not to have children, it's none of your damn business on why she decided not to have children. Maybe she's infertile. Maybe she has trouble conceiving. Maybe she has medical problems. Maybe she's obese. Maybe she's um can't afford to have children. Um maybe she there's again so many different factors that we just don't know. And again, every situation is unique. So I forgot what else I was talking about. It's my mind has been all over the place the past couple of days, and I'm just kind of shocked that this had happened because it's a step backwards for our country. Like, this is huge. And a lot of people are worried that this is going to not only affect women and everything else in this country, honestly, but it's also making people afraid of other rights that we might lose in this country, like for LGBTQ, for interracial marriage, all of that stuff, because of 6 Supreme Court justices that are honestly fucking assholes, and excuse my language, but also because I know abortion probably overshadowed this, but I'm grateful that I live in my state to get birth control and to um, be pro-choice. But guess what else happened in New York? And I don't know if you guys heard about this, but also the Supreme Court and it was the same exact vote that also overturned Roe versus Wade. It was 6-3 for both of these votes. The vote that they had made the day before is that you can now openly carry a gun in New York. They overturned the law. And why is it that we are not really doing anything for gun control in this country, but having more babies and being terrified of sending our kids to schools, afraid if they're not going to come home or not, that's okay. And then I hate the people that tell me one thing has nothing to do with the other. I'm like, it has everything to do with the other. Because then you see how everything is it's not just it's kind of like an animal ecosystem, like the ocean's ecosystem. Like one thing affects everything else. Like if the plankton start dying in the bottom of the ocean, it affects everything else because those plankton um whales eat, and that's why whales are surviving in the ocean. And if they don't get plankton, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm probably not explaining it exactly how, like, very scientifically, but I think you guys get the point. Um, is that every decision that we make in this country affects everything else. Yeah, exactly. I mean, the thing is that the reason why I get so upset at people not wanting gun control is that we're not saying to take away guns. If you have a permit, if you have a legal law in your state that allows you to open carry a gun, there is nothing wrong with that. But why is it that women are forced to have a child, but we can't have any protections for gun control on assault weapons? Like they did sign this bill creating more background checks and um all this other stuff. I can't remember specifically what was in it, but basically it didn't it didn't raise the gun age from 18 to 21. Why is it you can get a gun at 18 years old, but you have to be 21 in order to get alcohol? Like they should both be the same thing, right? Or is that like reaching a little bit? But I would think that people should, well, yeah, of course. But that's the problem. Is it they're not just morons, they're mentally disturbed, and that's why these school shootings keep on happening. So, I just wanted to cover some of this stuff. It doesn't mean I wanted to talk about it the whole time, but I just wanted to express that I was really upset about it, and there's also a formula shortage still in this country, so if women don't have the option to not have a baby, how are they going to feed their baby? I mean, yes, there's breast milk, but babies can't stay on breast milk for forever. And then once they need formula, how are they going to be able to get it? Shouldn't we be more concerned about that? And then they think it's going to affect rights for the gay community, which for me, I've always preached love is a love. If you love who you love, how does that affect me? The gay community is not a bunch of perverts um and all of that, and I hate that label because there's so much I could go into. There really is, but if we're the United States of America, all of these rights should be protected. Oh yeah, of course. Like that's the whole trouble with the drug industry and drugs and all that stuff. There's so much broken about our criminal system. There is so much, and that's why, like I'm saying, all of our decisions affect everything else in this country. Um And they said that they're leaving it up to the states in order to outlaw abortion, but guns, they just want more guns. You see what I'm saying? So it's really sad, and I was just so sad on Friday that when I saw it splashed across my TV, and I was just like, we really are going backwards right now. Um, and I just wanted to say one more thing. So I saw this completely false comment on, I forget whose Facebook, I think somebody shared like a meme, and it was like a group Facebook or something, like Facebook group. And somebody commented saying, if you don't want to have a baby, just get the COVID vaccine. And I'm like, wow, you're literally spreading information. So people don't want to have a baby. You're saying they should get vaccinated, when it's been proven time and time again that the vaccine does not cause infertility. And that was a bogus uh article. I don't even know how it started. It was a bogus thing that went around the internet that people started believing. And I'm just like, are you serious? Like, this is the kind of country we've become. And I'm not saying all of us are like that. So, and I'm not trying to like preach and be like, I know everything. I'm just expressing my opinion. So, I'm just going to grab my makeup sponge so we can do my face. Just give me a second. Okay, I'm back. I'm just gonna grab when I'm putting on my face. But this doesn't just affect women and all of that, which is really, really sad, but also it affects our entire legal system as well, because um what if a man decides to get a lawyer in a state that it is outlawed, like Oklahoma, and the man says that he doesn't want this child? Or maybe it was a result of his wife getting raped, R-worded by someone. What are they going to do then? Are they going to turn away the man and arrest the woman because they want to have they don't want to have a baby that they didn't want? Like, that's the unique situations I'm talking about, is that the choice isn't just with the woman, it's with the man too. And I really think that cops should step up and say something and be like, we're not going to literally like persecute everyone that, wants to abort a baby. It's just literally, like, when you think about that, it's kind of absurd. So I'm just going to blow my nose. I'm just like kind of exaggerating, but I'm kind of not, because that could happen, honestly. Like, are they going to criminalize like, are people in Oklahoma not going to be able to just have sex at all? Like, it's just ridiculous, because again, You have to have sex in order to have a baby. That's the most natural way to do it. Why is the act of wanting to have a baby so frowned upon when that's the way we have a child? Like, it's ridiculous. And a woman shouldn't have to be looked at again that the only reason why they should have sex is to have a baby. Hi, Debbie. Hey, girl. I'm so glad you're here. I just finished my rant about Roe versus Wade, so I don't know if this is actually done. I think it is done. Let's see if it comes out. Okay, there we go. Not yet. Oh, I love this stuff so much. And then I'm going to use the new primer that I got, which is the e.l.f. Dewy Primer. It smells like watermelon. It smells so good. We were just talking about how much we miss you on YouTube. We hope we're doing okay. Okay, so let's just do... I'm just wearing a white t-shirt. Simple today. Or are you talking about my makeup? Because then you're going to make fun of me again. So for my face tinted, I'm wearing the Colourpop Going Coconuts palette. This is one of my favorite neutral palettes. So I threw this one on today because that's my favorite neutral palette. Okay, so now I'm going to use the NYX Bear With Me Tinted Skin Veil in the shade Pale Light. I really love this tinted moisturizer. Oh my god, did I forget my sponge? Yes, I did. Give me a second. Oh my god. All right, so let's do my face. I can't believe I forgot my sponge. I was like, remember when I said I was going to go get it? And then I didn't. So you guys obviously remembered over me. I really like this tinted moisturizer because it's very creamy and it looks so good on the skin. I haven't worn it in a while. I don't know what made me like not want to wear it for a little bit, but I wanted to come back to it today. It's such a good product. I just need a tiny bit more, or I can just use, because I really don't want too much coverage today. I just need a little bit more on my forehead and my neck. Oh, thanks, Debbie. It doesn't work for everyone. As I look like a clown right now. Okay, so let's talk about something else. I just wanted to express my frustration, but we can't talk about it all day because it's just exhausting, but I'm just really upset about it. So, but I hope everybody is doing okay. So let's talk about makeup. So is there anything that you guys are eyeing recently or like have like some type of wish list? There are quite a few things that I am eyeing at Sephora right now. And there's also, of course, some things from Colourpop, and then there's also some stuff from Oden's Eye. So do you guys want me to share my wish list right now? I'm sure you guys do. So Sephora, there's quite a few things I was interested in at Sephora. I'm interested in, of course, who would say no to that? I'm interested in the peach lipstick from Pat McGrath from the Bridgerton collection. I'm not honestly thrilled with the Pat McGrath Bridgerton collection, but I do want to get one of those lipsticks because I think that the Venusian peach shade is so pretty, and I love Pat McGrath's formula of lipsticks, that I wanted to get that. I also want to get one of the new Gwen Stefani lipsticks. I want to get the new nude shade. And then I also want to get, I mean, I need money for these things. I don't really have much money right now. I'm just telling you guys my wish list. Yeah, those are really pretty. I mean, I have 4 of the yeah, let's talk about Pat McGrath still. I have 4 of the original, blushes that she had launched, and they have become, like, some of my favorite blushes in my whole blush collection. I use them constantly. They're just amazing. I love the formula, and just her shade selection is just fantastic. She really knows, like, what colors go with certain complexions, but they also are so universal, but they're just like perfect shades and undertones. They're just beautiful. So I was kind of thinking about one of the blush duos, but they are pricey. They're like $50. And the reason why, obviously, that they're a little bit more pricey is because there's 2 products in there. Oh, I'm not. I'm on a no buy right now, too. Oh, because I said that the original blushes are beautiful. I'm sorry. um, but I was actually going to talk about a blush that you really should get. That's not Pat McGrath. Yeah, it is, but also they said they justified the price because it's 2 blushes, but also the original blushes from Pat McGrath were pretty pricey. I think they were like $40 or something like that, but I got those with my Sephora rewards from my Sephora credit card, so I saved, I think I had $50 worth of rewards at that point because I spent a lot during the VIB sale, that I used my rewards to get those blushes. So why is this, like, sponge so dried out right now already? Sorry that I'm, like, dipping into my drink, but so the blush duos look really pretty, but I don't think I'm gonna get any of those because, again, I already have 4 of the original ones, and honestly, I don't need one more blush right now. There's other blushes on my list. But let's still talk about Sephora right now. I feel like there was another lipstick on my list. Oh, I also wanted to try one of the Charlotte Tilbury lipsticks. I forget what formula it is, but it's like, so I watch Morgan Turner on YouTube. She's one of my favorite channels because she reviews like almost everything. She reviews a lot of high-end makeup and luxury makeup. And she talked about that this is her favorite Charlotte Tilbury product in general. Yeah, I know. I was trying not to tip it over. And then for my concealer, I'm using the e.l.f. Hydrating Concealer. I love this concealer so much. I repurchased it like a couple of weeks ago, and I've been using it every time I do like an everyday look. So anyway, I do have to leave within the next like half hour though, so I'm going to try and finish in like the next like 25 minutes or so. So anyway, what did I just say? Oh, the Charlotte Tilbury. So I kind of wanted one of those lipsticks. I kind of strayed away from Charlotte Tilbury for a long time. I've only like tried her products once, and the only things that I thought that were worth it, I mean, I used up the entire Airbrush Flawless Finish powder. That was a really good powder. Why do I keep on getting these spam messages about paying my AT&T bill? It's annoying. So anyway, because my mom pays the family plan bill. We're all in a family plan. It saves you a lot more money. But anyway, So I wanted to try her favorite lipstick, and it's called, like, Honey something. I forget the name, but I do wanna try that. But I just thought for what you're paying for not Pat McGrath, for Charlotte Tilbury, her packaging seemed really, really cheap to me, so I just, like, didn't really purchase anything else from the brand, and also because she's super expensive, so I didn't really think it was that worth it. I'd rather buy Pat McGrath over Charlotte Tilbury, because I end up loving all of Pat McGrath's products. So now for my under eye powder, I'm gonna use my Becca Hydra Mist powder. I haven't used this one in a while, so I kind of switched up my powders right now so I could use some other ones. Because I used, like, the Rare Beauty one, like, every single day because I love that powder. But I don't want to go too heavy on the powder today because, again, it's pretty hot out. But I think that's all I'm going to do. This is just, like, the excess that's on my brush, and that's all I'm going to do. My skin already feels kind of dry right now. The NYX has, like, a pretty, like, demi-matte finish on my skin. I'm just going to take a little bit of powder and just, like, put it on the perimeter, and that's it. So I do this so my bronzer and blush glides on a little bit easier. Okay, that's it. And then I'm going to drench my face in setting spray right now. So I've been using because I finally finished my Pretty Fresh spray from Colourpop. Then I'm going to use I've been starting to use the Fourth Ray Beauty Do It Hydrating Hyaluronic Mist, which is Colourpop Skin brand, and I've been really loving this. It's basically a straight up dupe for the MAC Fix Plus Cucumber Spray. So, like, honestly, they feel like the exact same, and also they both have that cucumber scent to them. And I really have been enjoying this. It's super hydrating on the skin. It doesn't necessarily, like, set your makeup, but it just adds, like, this really nice boost of hydration to your skin. I really have been enjoying it because that's literally what it's supposed to do. But I feel like I kind of put on too much powder because my face feels dry now. Let me just, you know what? Let's just drench my face in this. Yeah, that's better. So now I'm just going to go back to my eyes. I'm just going to prime my lashes first. And then I'm also kind of interested, thank you, my Pride nails. I got these done when my sister surprised us last weekend. We always get a manicure like every time she's here. And I haven't had a manicure in a while because I was just trying to save money for a while, but I really just wanted to get my nails done because I missed it. But I also just needed to take a break from it because I was kind of ruining my nails with getting the gel too often. So I, like, didn't do my nails for like a month. So now I'm just gonna do liner. And I'm just gonna do my LA Girl liner, which I use like every day. If I can get it out of here. Oh my lord. Oh, Cameron. Oh my goodness. Why is this so complicated to get out of here right now? Did I just do that? All right, we got it out. Oh my goodness. So this is the LA Girl liner in the shade Super Bright. I don't know why I can never say the shade of this. First I said it was clear the last time I used it in a video, or actually when I hauled it, and then I almost said it was like a different name that it was today. So it's called Super Bright by LA Girl, if you were curious. So, and then I also want to try, I'm still on the fence about trying some of the new House Labs stuff because I honestly didn't have a problem with her original makeup. It just honestly was not really like what we were expecting from Gaga with her makeup line. Like, honestly, the first and only thing that really was beautiful packaging and all of that was the House of Gucci collection that she did. And I should have picked it up when I could. I probably still can because it is on Amazon. And I just thought that collection was so pretty. And those products are still 50% off on Amazon. Like, everything was taken off of her website. Yeah, it was a little bit weird, but honestly, I had tried a lot of stuff from the line. I bought all 3 eyeshadow palettes. I have the original palette that she did, the first one called the Fame. I bought the second one, which was called the Stupid Love palette, and I got the Love for Sale palette. So I have all 3 eyeshadow palettes from her. And I also have a couple of the blush and highlight duos. I have one of them is a bronzer blush duo. No, one of them is a highlight blush duo, and the other one's a highlight and bronzer, and they're phenomenal. They're some of my favorite products that she launched, but they just did not get the hype that they deserved because they're beautiful products. So she actually has a really beautiful formula. Her matte formula for her eyeshadows are fantastic. It's her shimmers that weren't really as great as the mattes. And for me, y'all know how much I love mattes. So I just need to finish and then I'm gonna leave soon. No worries. I'm just gonna put on my lengthening mascara from Colourpop because I love this mascara and it really makes my lashes super long. Um, so I was kind of interested in her highlighters. Yeah, it's been okay. It's been hot, but it's been good. My mom and my brother are actually at the Pride Parade in NYC today. This is the first time my mom ever went, so that's pretty cool. It's too long of a day for me, and I didn't really want to go. I've been like twice before, and it's so much fun, but it's such a long day. But I was interested in her highlighters, the House Labs highlighters, but they're $40 a piece. Oh, thank you. I don't have a pricey dry shampoo. Actually, I don't even have a leave-in conditioner. I use actually I use a pretty cheap shampoo and conditioner right now. It's from The Ordinary, and it's just their regular shampoo and conditioner, and they're like $6 a piece. Um and I don't feel like it lathers enough when I use it, but after I dry my hair is so shiny and my hair stays clean for like a week. So, sorry. I think my mom just got home and now she's going to tell me everything about the Pride Parade. So she's going to want to talk to me soon. But I'll be done in a few minutes. So, I'm not sure if I would want to try Oh, okay. I mean, it kind of bothers me though because I feel like I can never scrub my head enough when it doesn't lather. Because my hair's not really like that dry as compared to my face. But I feel like after this I kind of want to try a different one, but I do like the consistency of these because they're not like too liquidy and they're also not too dry feeling. They have like a nice happy medium. They kind of feel more like a balm or like a gel, and they're really nice. I love this inner corner highlight. This is Palm Reader from the Going Coconuts palette. And it's so pretty. Ooh, yes, it's so pretty. Okay, so I have to leave in probably the next like 15 minutes or so. Okay, so I was interested in the highlighters, but I was also interested in her. Was there anything else that I wanted? I don't think so, actually. I was thinking about one of the lip crayons, but I'm already interested in so many lipsticks that I wasn't gonna get one of her lipsticks again, but I really do like her lip crayons because I love the lip crayon that I got from her original line. It is really good, actually. Oh, I was gonna tell you about Give Me Glows blushes. I'm gonna show it to you. So I don't know if you saw my recent haul that I posted a few days ago, but I finally got the Give Me Glow blushes that I wanted. They like launched them like a couple of months ago. They took a while to come out with them, but I wanted to show you the mauvey pink that I got. It is so pretty. It's not exactly the same as the Rosebud blush from Kat Von D that you love so much that you got me to buy, and I love that blush too. Oh, I might use my Kat Von D blush today because I love those blushes. But they have such a velvety, smooth texture. I just love Give Me Glow's products. They're so good. Let me just do my bronzer first since that's in front of me. So I'm just going to use the Milani bronzer, the Dolce bronzer. I've had this for so long. It's still my favorite summer bronzer. I love this guy so much. And it's only like a few dollars. Oh, it's so good. It just makes your skin look so pretty in the summertime. It's such a pretty, like, glowy bronzer, which I was also kind of interested in Rihanna's new bronzer, like the glowy bronzer, but honestly, I probably can just get the same effect from this. And I went to Sephora, like, I think it was like 2020 or something, and I asked like one of the guys once about like one of the guys that worked there about whether or not I should get the Kosas bronzer because I wanted that at the time. And I told him that I already had the Milani bronzer, and he was like, stick with the Milani one. He said, you don't need the Kosas one because the Milani one is just as good. And that's a good salesperson if they're not trying to sell you something that you don't need. Because usually that's what they do is they try to sell you things that you don't need and convince you that you need them. So that was actually awesome of him to tell me that. And then I told him like a couple weeks later, because I told him I was thinking about getting the Gucci bronzer instead of the Kosas, and I told him that I got it, and he was like, ooh, girl, bougie, and he's like, that's such a great bronzer, and that's become my favorite bronzer ever. So I made the right decision, even though I spent more money than the Milani bronzer and the Kosas bronzer combined, but I love that bronzer so much. Okay, so let's just do blush and highlight. I really would like to use this one Colourpop blush, but I can't get it open for the life of me usually. And it's really turned me off from using it. So that's most of the things that I want from Sephora. I don't think there's anything else on my wish list right now. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I also still want the Soul Moon eyeshadow palette and 2 of the blushes and one of the highlighters from the Odin's Eye collection because I think that collection is gorgeous. But Odin's Eye is like the only company that I'm talking about that doesn't offer Afterpay. And usually anything that I buy now, I pay with Afterpay. I don't like paying up front for anything anymore because it's just too expensive. So I like paying as you go. So hopefully they'll offer that option soon, but I know because they're a Swedish brand, it's probably a little bit more difficult for them. I'm just going to grab my blush and highlight, which I really have no idea what I'm using today. Oh, well, let's just use this. That's easy. And then for lips, we'll figure it out. I'm just going to use my Colourpop, really old Colourpop blush and highlight duo. This is when their formulas were top notch. Now I'm not really like as convinced anymore, but that formula is bomb. And let me grab the blushes that I'm talking about. Yeah, I'm just going to use that blush duo because I don't really feel like digging in my collection right now because I kind of need to get out of here. So I'm going to use this really old duo from Colourpop. This is the Double Play duo, and I'm going to use a blush and the highlighter. These are so pretty. And I kind of wish they would bring these back because these were actually bomb. And this is when I actually thought that Colourpop cared a lot more about their formulas than their packaging. Oh my God, Caitlin's talking shit about Colourpop. What is wrong? What is going on today? Okay, I didn't realize that that I had more of the blush that I used yesterday on my brush than I thought I did. Because it's a lot more orangey on that side, and now it's going to be a little bit more natural on this side. But see how much that blush builds up? Like, you're like, oh, it's just a little neutral blush. Little neutral blush. I can't talk anymore. Caitlin has left the building already. What else was I going to say? Yeah, I'm just going to blend it out a little better. By the way, this is a Colourpop brush, and I love their brushes. They're so super, super soft. Better than any other cheap brushes I've ever used. Like, better than Real Techniques, better than Eco Tools. I love their brushes. It's just so soft on the skin. Like, I could literally just do this all day with this, and I'm like it feels so good. And I've been using this brush a lot more for my blush, and I haven't been using the Eco Tools one anymore, which used to be my favorite one. And then for the highlight, I'm just going to use the highlight that's in here too. And this is like one of my favorite Colourpop highlighters. That's so pretty. And then the last things that are on my wish list are, of course, from Colourpop. I'm really thinking about getting the In the Limelight palette because I kind of really want a good green palette for the summertime because I kind of have like some green looks in mind and I kind of want to wear some green eyeshadow, but it's not like in your face green, this palette. It's more so like lime tones, and that is supposed to be like super trendy this summer, but it's not only because it's trendy, but a lot of influencers are talking about that palette is like one of their best palettes that they came out with this year. And I'm just like, after I watched Angelica Nyquist's video on the best palettes this year and Morgan Turner's best palettes, they both mentioned the In the Limelight palette. And I'm like, okay, I want it. Even though before I was like, I don't know if I need it, but I wanted it because, I don't really love the Tinkerbell palette from Colourpop. It's not really the green palette that I thought it was going to be for me. I know I gifted it to you, Debbie, but it's not my favorite Colourpop palette. So, yes, I did. I think it's really pretty, but I don't think I'm getting anything from it. And what's funny is that I had just gotten her Michaela highlighter from the first collection like a week or so ago, and it's beautiful. Okay. We have to decide what I want for lips. I'm probably just going to throw something on. I'm just going to do my brow gel. It is pretty though, but honestly, the second palette kind of looks very similar to the first one. I don't think they needed to do another like 30 pan eyeshadow palette, but it's cool. I kind of wish they had made it a little bit smaller though, but I don't really care because I'm not going to get anything from it. I'm pretty much on a no buy right now. I'm just telling you guys my wish list. By the way, this Wet n Wild clear brow gel, this is really good and it's really inexpensive. I like this even more than the Colourpop clear brow gel that I used to buy. I'm just going to buy that now from now on. It's really, really good. And then for the lips, yeah, exactly. They could have done like 6 pans or like a 12 pan or something. So I just was like, okay, like we don't need another mega palette. I'm over the mega palettes that Colourpop releases too. Like they're so boring and repetitive. The new one, the Gettin' Fresh palette, was really pretty, but they could have released a smaller like 9-pan palette with pinks and greens in it, and I feel like that would have sold a lot better. It would have been really, really pretty too for summertime. There's just not enough greens in that palette either. I have not bought one mega palette from Colourpop since the So Jaded palette because I feel like every other one they released after that, there's no way that they don't have a mini version of all of those in 9-pan form. So there's really no point of their mega palettes unless that's the only neutral palette that you have, or you need like a palette to travel with. That's a great palette because you have everything you need in there for like every single neutral. But for me, I don't need it. I have too many neutral palettes. And then for the lips, I get so bored with my lipsticks at this point. I think I'm going to use one of my cream sheens from Colourpop. Not Colourpop, from MAC. And we're just going to use this guy. It used to be one I used a lot, though. I don't know if I even have it anymore. I probably decluttered it. All right, I'm just going to use, this is like the old Nicki Minaj one in the, I believe this is the cream sheen. Yeah, I love MAC's cream sheen lipsticks. And it still smells good. All right, I'll show you the blush in a second. So I wanted that palette. I also wanted their new bronzer. But I wasn't going to get that until like next month. I haven't picked up a new bronzer, I think, since I got the Dior bronzer last year. I don't think I've picked up a new bronzer yet. Thank you. It's a little bit lighter than what I normally wear. But that's the vibe I'm feeling today. Okay. And I also wanted to get one of the glosses from that new collection because since it's the summertime now, I'm wearing a lot more glosses. I don't really wear glosses until the summertime. I'm usually wearing like a light lipstick like this. Or like a matte lipstick. But I've been doing a lot of like lipstick with gloss lately because I just love how it looks in the summer. So I wanted one of those glosses that came out with that collection, even though I got 2 other glosses this year from Colourpop. But I've been using this So Glassy one constantly. I love this one. It's such a beautiful gold gloss, and I love the formula of this. This is their best gloss formula because I've told you guys before I don't love their gloss formula, and I thought that was the best one they came out with. So I really wanted to try one of the ones that came out that are, like, more of, like, the more pigmented matte ones. Like, they're not matte, but they don't have, like they're not, like, metallic glosses. And I don't know what else I wanted, but those were, like, the main things that I wanted. I think the other 2 were, like, older things. I wanted the other shade in the Winnie the Pooh highlighter because I love this highlighter so much, but that's pretty much it. Aw, that's sweet, Debbie. I actually have a quite a collection of Glam Light glosses. I have, like, 6 of them, but that's really sweet. Thank you. So that's pretty much it for the makeup look. I need to get out of here. I just wanna show the blushes that I'm talking about. Oh, it's okay. No, thank you. That's so sweet of you. I just wanna show you the blushes, Debbie. So I have 2 of them in front of me. So this is the Kat Von D Rosebud Blush. I don't know why I forgot what it's called for a second. And then this is the Give Me Glow blush in the shade Dear Diary. So these are the 2 blushes. Thank you. So I'm gonna swatch them for you. So the Give Me Glow one has more of a like warmer undertone to it, but girl, the formula is I mean, the Kat Von D is a little bit softer, but the formula of this is so pretty, and they're like velvety smooth. So I'm gonna show you the difference between the 2 colors. But the Give Me Glow is so pretty. The Kat Von D is a lot more cool toned. So those are the 2. You're probably not gonna be able to see it as well here because I can tell more in person. So this one's the Kat Von D. You want me to bring it closer? Is that what you're saying? Oh, you mean they're super close colors? So this one is the Kat Von D Rosebud, and this one is the Give Me Glow Dear Diary shade. But the Dear Diary shade is kind of more of like a warm mauvey pink. It's so, so pretty. And they have just such a beautiful formula to them. So whenever you are able, I highly recommend these. They're beautiful. I got 3 shades of them. Oh, and I love the packaging. They kind of remind me of MAC's packaging, but they're so good. So just saying, these are both beautiful, and I know you love wearing those tones of blushes, and I feel like this might become one of your go-to new favorite blushes. All right, you guys. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for watching. To Sandra, Erica, and Debbie, I love you guys so much. And I hope you have a wonderful day. And I need to get out of here. So I love you so much. Bye.